The problem being solved. The challenge for most organizations is not in coming up with sensible strategies, but in the execution of those strategies. For execution to be successful, you must have the underlying capability to execute. You can't go directly from strategy to execution. You must first ensure you have the capability to execute. A good analogy is Olympic athletes. Well before the Olympics, they develop a strategy for their race. From the time they develop their strategy until the Olympic event, they work on strength, fitness, technique, and motivation. They do this to develop the capability to execute their race strategy. Developing the capability does not guarantee a win, but not developing the capability guarantees a loss. The same is true of organizations. You develop a strategy. Before attempting to execute that strategy, you must have the capability to execute. Developing the capability does not guarantee success, but not developing the capability does guarantee failure. Key idea number 1. Just as Olympic athletes must develop the capability to execute their race strategy, organizations must develop the capability to execute this strategy. Coordinated capability. Ensuring the capability to execute your organization's strategies. Where coordinated capability fits. Most organizations set goals, then develop strategies to execute or achieve those goals. The strategies are then passed to the operations, who are expected to execute. If that execution is successful, then the results should follow. Capability to execute focuses only on the operations of the business, linking process, systems, people, and partners so that the strategies can be achieved. There are 4 elements required for an organization to function effectively: processes, systems, people, and partners. These 4 elements are highly dependent on each other. For example, processes that don't support strategy or are clumsy will be ignored. Partners who are not properly integrated will not be effective. Systems that don't support the processes or are too clumsy will be bypassed. People who don't understand the processes or don't like the systems will develop their own approach. These 4 elements are highly interdependent. The problem is that the 4 elements are highly interdependent, but the teams responsible for each are highly independent. In most organizations, they do not work together in an effective way. There are a number of reasons they don't work together effectively. The first is organization structure. In most organizations, the areas responsible for process, systems, people, and partners, process team, IT, HR, and various people looking after partners, all report up through the organization in different functional silos. In most companies, the silos do not come together below the level of CEO. This means they work quite separately from each other. CEOs can ensure there is a high-level alignment, but don't have time to coordinate the detailed initiatives each group is working on. The 4 areas all have different measures of success. If you scan the slide, you can see how different the success measures are. As people focus on the things by which they are measured, they naturally focus on different things. The people in these 4 areas are quite specialized. Again, cast your eye across the things on which they focus. There are significant differences. This specialization results in a narrow focus and makes it difficult to retain the big picture. Finally, there is no common framework or common way of looking at the business for the people in these 4 areas. As a result, they find it difficult to interact and communicate. There's a Chinese saying which sums this up very well. It's like a chicken talking to a duck. The teams representing the four elements of capability must work together. They must be brought together and focus on delivering just one thing, the capability to execute. Key idea number 2. Processes, systems, people, and partners are highly interdependent, but the teams managing each area are quite independent. In most organizations, they do not work together effectively, which damages your capability to execute your strategies. Coordinated capability will bring them together. Now let's review how you develop a capability plan. There are 3 steps to developing the capability plan. The first is to develop a capability analysis to understand your current capability to execute. The second step is to develop a plan for improvement. This needs to be a practical plan that can be readily implemented. The third step is to make decisions about ongoing management of this program. Coordinated capability and managing the capability to execute is not a one-off exercise. It should be an ongoing program that will become part of your DNA. It's possible that within your organization you have multiple lines of business. A capability plan is required for each line of business. Lines of business typically have different customer sets and/or different processes, systems, and people. To illustrate, it's common for a bank to have both a retail and commercial arm. Each of these are different lines of business and require a different capability plan. The first step is the capability analysis. Coordinated capability provides a simple tool for analyzing your current capability to execute. The tool will help you focus on a small number of key business results that must be achieved. This will provide a common framework on which the 4 elements of capability can focus, and help everyone be clear about what is needed in processes, systems, people, and partners. The tool will help you decide the key metrics that will be followed and identify the opportunities for improvement in the operations of your organization. There are 3 different methods that can be employed to develop your capability analysis. The first is called baseline. It's used to analyze your complete business and establishes a baseline of your capability to execute. Importantly, it incorporates an analysis of your capability to execute your current strategies. It is recommended that the first time you do a capability analysis, that the baseline method be used, but it is not mandatory. The quickfire method allows you to focus on a small number of areas where you feel the most opportunity for improvement lies. While it works best if the baseline method has already been used and is ideal for annual reviews, it is possible to use it as an initial review method. Quickfire is particularly useful where there have not been significant changes in strategy, but you are still searching for productivity improvements in your operations. The strategy review is used as part of strategic planning and will help you identify potential gaps in your capability to execute new strategy you're envisaging. The second step in developing a capability plan is to develop an improvement plan. The output from your capability analysis will be a long list of possible improvement areas. Typically, there will be far too many to implement all of them, and so a process to produce a shorter, more manageable list is required. The improvement plan process will guide you to quickly reduce your long list to a short list. Develop ideas for each item on the short list. Make a final choice of the ideas that will be implemented, and then come up with a detailed action plan. The third step in developing a capability plan is ongoing management. A capability plan should not be a one-off event. It is something that will need to evolve over time. Your capability to execute must adapt as strategies evolve or change. Even if the strategies are not changing, your capability to execute must evolve if you seek ongoing productivity improvements. So you need to establish an ongoing program. There are a number of decisions required for your ongoing program, and coordinated capability will help you with this decision-making. There are decisions around structure and how the 4 elements of capability will be better coordinated. There will be a requirement for ongoing governance, including review of progress on actions you decide to take and, when these are complete, development of further improvement plans. Finally, to achieve maximum benefit from coordinated capability, It needs to become part of your DNA, both at an operational level and during strategic planning. At the end of this process, you will have established a common framework for looking at the business, chosen the most significant areas for improvement, and developed specific action plans. Finally, you will have an ongoing program defined in which the 4 elements of capability are coordinated. There is a governance structure, and you've made changes so that coordinated capability becomes part of your DNA. The Coordinated Capability Program can be run in one of 2 ways. First, you have a choice of self-service. We offer full video-based instruction in how to implement coordinated capability and provide you with the tools and templates needed. You will need to select an in-house facilitator, and we will provide them with a detailed guide on how to lead the development of the capability plan. The other alternative is to use one of our consultants. Our consultant will present the program, lead discussion around the concepts and exercises to ensure everyone understands, and then lead the exercises in developing the capability plan. Coordinated capability provides a number of significant benefits. First, you will enjoy greater success from your strategies because you will have ensured that you have the capability to execute them before you start. Even your current strategies will benefit from a capability to execute review. Your operations will become more results-focused as a result of the common framework mentioned earlier. This will make them more effective. You have flexibility in implementation with a number of choices in approach and timing. You will enjoy greater success from improvement initiatives through the coordination of all 4 elements. Better prioritization of improvement initiatives as the framework provides an objective framework for comparing and contrasting initiatives in each of the 4 elements. Finally, these benefits are ongoing, not just one-off benefits, as the program is an ongoing one. Coordinated capability, ensuring the capability to execute your organization's strategies.